If you did a poll, like, do you think you have too little stuff in your home, or your right amount of stuff in your home, or too much stuff in your home? I think the vast majority of Americans would say, I have too much stuff in my home. Hi, my name is Anna, and on social media, I go by the Trash Walker. I started going on what I would call trash walks around my neighborhood and pulling out usable items from residential and corporate waste. And I couldn't think of just a better term. It was like the most straightforward way I could describe it. The waste hierarchy shows that reuse is always the better option than recycling. There's a lot of wish cycling that happens where people think that what they're putting into the bin is recyclable and it's not, and that can do more harm. And then also people just not recycling to begin with. This should be with paper. This should also be with paper. One thing that's really shocking is that New York City has a 17% recycling rate, but if everyone were recycling correctly and if everyone were composting everything that's compostable, we could be at a 68% diversion rate. So there's a big gap between what we're doing and what we can do. I go on trash walks after 4 p.m. That's when anyone can legally put waste out on the curb in New York City. So you can't do it before, and you might get a ticket if you do it before. It's the end of the month, and so typically at the end of the month there's a lot of move-outs. And when a person is moving, there's a lot of waste. For residential waste, you'll find a lot of toys, books, clothing, sheets, and very frequently a lot of waste will be generated when people are moving or clearing out an apartment. If this were on a stoop and it said like free works, it would definitely be taken. But it's hard once it's reached the curb, you're like, I don't fully know the situation with this. Does it work? Does it not work? So it's very unlikely that actually someone will get it. Maybe someone will, but it's a little unlikely. I think one of the reasons why we're able to overproduce and overconsume in the way that we are is because we're not accounting for all of the damage that our stuff causes. We're in debt. You know, we're taking way more than we're giving back or allowing the earth to regenerate. I used to be very upset, and I still am upset, but one thing I did realize is that it's not up to me. I am not allowed to abstain from this work, but I'm also not the one responsible for completing this work. It needs to be a collective decision, and it needs to be systemic change because no individual can fix this problem.